Alright guys, it's official. Mark your calendar or honestly, maybe start preparing your bank account. February 25th is the day Samsung is expected to unveil the Galaxy S26 lineup. The S26, S26 Plus, and of course, the S26 Ultra. And yeah, no S26 Edge this year. That experiment is done. The S25 Edge didn't sell well, Apple's iPhone Air didn't either. And Samsung clearly decided to cut their losses and move on. But let's be real. The phone everyone actually cares about is the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Let's start with the design. I'm not going to call this a new brand design because it's not. But honestly, it still looks good. The biggest visual change is the camera island, which now looks very similar to what we have seen on the Fold 7. Now the big question is, does that also mean it's going to wobble on a table like the Fold 7? We'll have to wait and see. We're also getting new color options: white shadow, black shadow, galactical blue, and ultraviolet. But here is something interesting. Notice how the word titanium is completely missing this time. That's not a coincidence. Samsung is reportedly ditching titanium and going back to an armor aluminum frame. And honestly, the reasons sound very familiar: better heat management, lower costs, and potentially better sustained performance. Apple already gave us the same explanation, and now Samsung seems to be following the same path. Oh, and one more small but interesting detail. The S Pen might get a subtle redesign at the back end, which should help it sit more flush inside the phone. Small thing, but I'll take it. Size-wise, the S26 Ultra stays very close to the S25 Ultra. It's expected to be slightly thinner, but also a bit heavier, mainly because aluminum is heavier than titanium. Now, let's talk about the display. Honestly, this might be one of the coolest upgrades this year. Samsung is working on a feature called Privacy Display, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You'll be able to limit viewing angles so people around you can't see what's on your screen. Perfect for metros, flights, or crowded places. What's really wild is that you can darken only specific parts of the screen instead of the entire display. That's extra, but in a very Samsung way. And the best part, this is not a screen protector. It's not an accessory. It's built directly into the hardware and software. Samsung actually showed this tech last year at MWC under the name Magic Flex Panel. And if it makes it to the S26 Ultra, that would be huge. And yes, Ultra only, not the base model, not the Plus. Now, for the less exciting part. Display sizes are mostly staying the same. The only change is the base S26, which might go from 6.2 inches to 6.3 inches. Nothing dramatic. There are also rumors that Samsung might use their new M14 panel. If that's true, we're looking at a brighter screen, better battery efficiency, and a 10-bit display. In simple terms, more colors, smoother gradients, and an overall richer look without killing your battery. That's a win. Now, performance. This is where things get controversial. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will get a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 everywhere. No regional differences here. But the base and Plus models, those will use Exynos 2600 in Europe and Asia and Snapdragon in the US. Is it fair? Not really. But from Samsung's perspective, it probably helps keep prices under control, especially since Exynos comes from their own foundry. Now yes, we've heard reports claiming that Exynos 2600 is beating Snapdragon Gen 5 and even Apple's A19 Pro in benchmarks. But let's be honest, we hear that every single year. The difference this time is that Samsung is focusing heavily on thermal management using HPB. So maybe, just maybe, this time it actually holds up in real-world usage. We'll see. Camera upgrades this year are subtle. On the base and Plus models, the 3x telephoto goes from 10 megapixel to 12 megapixel. That's it. On the S26 Ultra, there are three main changes. First, we might see larger apertures on the main camera and the 5x telephoto. More light in means more detail captured and better results once the algorithms do their thing. Second, video. Samsung is expected to introduce a new APV video codec, which should be better suited for high-quality cinematic video recording. And third, an enhanced lens coating to reduce flares, giving you cleaner and sharper images. None of this is revolutionary, and honestly, that's a bit disappointing, especially when brands like Xiaomi, Vivo, and Oppo are pushing camera hardware way harder right now. Samsung really needs to step it up. Software is predictable at this point. The S26 series will launch with One UI 8.5, along with 7 years of OS updates and 7 years of security patches. Standard Samsung stuff. There will likely be a few AI features that launch exclusively on the S26 series and roll out to older models later, and maybe, just maybe, a few Ultra-only features. Battery upgrades? Not really. The base S26 might get a small bump to 4,300 mAh, but everything else stays the same. However, there's one interesting rumor. The S26 Ultra might support 60 watts wired charging, which could get you to around 75% in under 30 minutes. It's also expected to support Qi 2 wireless charging up to 25 watts. Is it impressive by today's standards? Not really, but for Samsung, considering the Note 7 history, it's actually a pretty bold move. Okay, that's pretty much everything we know so far. February 25th is the announcement. Sales could start around March 11th, depending on the region. Thank you. If you are not subscribed already, hit the button, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one.